Here I'm going to show the option of mounting with positioning pins. The fitting is securely fastened in place with 4 screws, but first it is carefully fixed in the correct orientation in the cabinet at these 2 specific points. The positions must be pre-drilled in the cabinet, and for example with CNC pre-processing, I achieve maximum repeat accuracy, which is ideal for producing small batches or series. The installer then only needs to place the fitting on and secure it. It works. Here in the cabinet I have the 2 pre-drilled holes. I take these pins, which by the way are similar to standard shelf supports, and insert them here. They have a small collar which prevents me from inserting them too deeply. Then I prepare the fitting by carefully pre-inserting the screws into the mounting points. This step helps me later on, since I do not have to awkwardly guide any of the screws to the cordless screwdriver by hand during assembly, and that way they can't fall out anymore. I take the fitting and put it in position. And now it can't fall down anymore. Now I have the correct position and can simply tighten the screws with the cordless screwdriver. Now we move on to mounting the front. For this, I need markings on the front so I can later screw on our front connectors there. I take the marking measurements from the assembly instructions because, of course, we're dependent on things like side panel thickness, front overlay, and so on. These are the usual flexible factors that you have to take into account. Accordingly, we carefully mark 4 specific points here because the connector is securely fastened with 4 individual screws. To do this, I place the front connector with the mounting brackets aligned precisely to the outer edge on the front at my 4 marked screw points. Then I fix it in place at the markings, making sure everything is properly positioned and ready for the next step. Of course, I do the same on the other side. Then I carefully attach the handle to the piece. And then, as the next step, we hang the front onto the lever arms. However, to do this, we first need to open the lever arms. I do this with the help of this red safety clip. Close it again. I carefully grab this tab here, pull it up, and have a secure grip, so I can safely and gently open the arm. To remove the red clip, I grab it in the middle here, pull it up, and simply twist it out. Of course, I do the same on the other side. Take it out, done. Then we take the front panel component. Here we can clearly see the various openings which are meant for engaging with the mounting axis. And finally locking in place here, but I notice that the front still falls down on its own. So I don't have enough force assistance here yet. The reason for this is that we generally deliver this fitting in the lowest force setting. When manually opening the arm, as I just did to hook in the front, we want there to be as little resistance as possible so that the arm can be opened smoothly and easily. I then adjust the force settings on the power unit, the power pad. Here I have an area where I can use a cordless screwdriver to regulate the force up or down. There are also several other adjustment options which I will get to in just a moment. Now that we have installed the system and attached the front to the cabinet body, we remove the front once more before hanging the cabinet on the wall. This makes handling much easier, and since the installer will have to adjust the cabinet hangers again later to remove the front panel, I take a screwdriver, carefully insert it between these 2 metal plates, open them, and then lift the front panel upwards. Of course, I do this on both sides. With that being said, I have now successfully removed the front part. Now I can prepare the cabinet for mounting on the wall. To do this, I can reinsert these clips. They are reusable. So I insert them again like this. First at the back end, then at the front, and then close the lever. Force settings, opening angle limiters, damping adjustments, and also the position of the front will all be set later, once the cabinet is in its final position on the wall. In the next step, we hang the front back on. Again, aligning it with the mounting points and letting the lever arm lock into place. We notice here that the closing process is still moving at a pace that is noticeably too slow, and the level of power assistance being provided remains too low, so we'll start by increasing the power level. We do this on both sides. Now that you have the correct result, you can then carefully deactivate the damper on one side. This is done after I have carefully closed the front completely and then reopened it once, making sure the process is carried out properly. From now on, the closing speed is significantly higher and we achieve the desired result. Afterwards, I can carefully make adjustments to the front using 3 points here on the side from top to bottom. And here, by tilting in this demonstration to achieve the perfect result in the gap alignment, we can now see here that the edge on the right is a bit lower than on the left. That means I lower the front just a little bit on this side so that we now achieve a parallel line here. On the side, we are also parallel to the reference, on the left side as well, and the tilt also looks well aligned. Finally, we carefully place on the cover caps to finish the assembly. We have cover caps available for the front connectors for additional protection. And of course, the protective cover caps for the power pads, which are included. The best way is to start from below, fold them over the top, and press firmly at the top. With that, we have completed the assembly. For more information, feel free to visit our website, kesselbömer.com. In our support portal, you can find installation instructions and further tips for this and other products to help you out. Thank you very much, and see you next time.